If you're Canadian and a dirty, filthy thief of digital commodities, this might be important to you. Americans and whoever else can listen too. Maybe they'll still find this funny and enjoyable. I don't know, I'm not the one who waits every week to listen to a guy on the internet yell about things. Let me tell you about Rights Corp. What's Rights Corp? Well, clearly they're a corporation that does something with rights. What that something is depends on who you are. If you're a large company like Sony, for instance, they try and protect your copyright on various things, movies, music, games, that sort of shit. But chances are pretty good that you, the person watching this while cramming food in your face at some ridiculous hour, are not Sony. So for you, the Canadian eating Kraft dinner slathered in ketchup at 2 a.m., killing time while your screeners download, they try and scare you by assuming that you don't know what your rights are. Beginning this year, Canada's Copyright Modernization Act reached a new phase, implementing the Notice and Notice regime. It's a voluntary practice aimed at discouraging online copyright infringement, according to the Government of Canada, though I'm not sure how voluntary it is. What all this legal bullshit means is that now, internet service providers such as Rogers, Bell, TechSavvy, Execulink, whatever else is out there, are supposed to send you an email when a company finds out you've been stealing their stuff. The process kinda works like this. You download a new movie. Let's say Red Army. It's a documentary being distributed by Sony Pictures Classic. Looks pretty good, I want to see it. So, you download it from whatever torrent sites are still left. Rights Corp's bots, representing Sony's interests, find out your IP address was one of those who downloaded it, and they send an email to the ISP that the IP address belongs to. Think of them as the principal calling mom into the office, telling her that she needs to have a talk with her child. That's you. Principal Rights Corp also sends a letter home with mom, that mom has to give to her bad little boy or girl. What's the letter say? According to a sample letter from an ISP, which was posted online by Michael Geist, law professor at the University of Ottawa, it says that they have reason to believe you stole from Sony or whoever, and that if you don't give them $20, you could be charged upwards of $150,000 per infringement, and your ISP will cut you off. It's a fucking shakedown. Now obviously, they're gonna scare some people into paying this money. After all, $20 is better than $150,000, right? Here's the thing though. They don't know who you are, and the ISP doesn't have any legal obligation to tell them. In order to find out who you are, they have to get a court order. This would cost them a bunch of money and time, and they'd have to be sure they can win. But then, they'd actually have to prove that you actually downloaded anything. All they know is that an IP address downloaded something. They don't know it was you. It might not have been you. Someone could have been using an IP spoofer. It could have been someone else in your home. It could have been someone who used your Wi-Fi because you're a fucking idiot and you don't know how to lock it. Plus, if you're Canadian, all of this is a bunch of bullshit. The Canadian government, you know, the same one that's responsible for you even getting these letters in the first place, says so right on their website. First things first, US copyright fines and penalties do not apply in Canada. Canada, despite some believing otherwise, is a separate nation from the United States, with its own laws and shit. Second, statutory damages for non-commercial infringement in Canada do not exceed $5,000. $5,000. Well, that's quite a smaller number than $150,000, isn't it? And finally, a notice of alleged infringement is separate from any lawsuit for copyright infringement. There is no legal obligation to pay any settlement offered by a copyright owner. In plain English, you don't have to give them dick. Should you just buy stuff and not take it off the internet? Yeah, that would probably be good. But that's not gonna happen, now is it? So, you should at least know your rights. Yes, you could be sued. All of these companies have Canadian divisions, and they could try and take you for $5,000 in court. But they can't actually force an ISP to shut your internet off. They don't know who you are, and can't find out without going through a whole process, and they don't even know you did anything wrong in the first place. So, if you get one of these letters, don't pay any settlements, and don't piss your pants in fear that they're coming to get you. you're probably fine. Maybe. I don't know, but, probably.